Okie dokie nerds, welcome to another video. Another Dredge League today. And what we've got here is a deck played by 4 and 6 Frowning Table to second place, or well, they split the finals of the challenge, or one of the challenges over the weekend. But what they did that was pretty sick is they've kept like bridges and therapies, which they used to top 8 success the week I got second. And the main thing that they've done though is which I think is pretty genius, is they've got 4 thugs, but we've sideboarded the shambling shell, which means you don't have to be on 4 of your worst dredger and use the thug as a flex spot if you want to be on the one less dredger. So you bring that in when you bring in your vigors, but it means that your game 1 dredging is better. And then post board we've got 2 shoals, 2 strip mines, and a mine break trap. I believe that mine break trap could be a sickening shoal. I'm not sure about the 2 shoals. We'll see how we get on. But then, yeah, after that it's pretty standard dredge. You've got your creeping chills. You don't have any ghouls in this list because we've got bridges and therapies for more interaction. 7 pitch permission spells, 4 wills, 2 negations and a misstep, and then a chalice as well. And then 4 griefs. So Icarids, amalgams and narcs to round it out, sort of thing. So we're going to run this through a league. I just really liked the innovation of 3 shells, 1 in the board. So I'm quite interested to see how it goes, and they obviously had success with it coming second or splitting the finals on the challenge. Sorry, I keep saying second because that's where the results page has them. But let's go to the first match and play a league with Dredge. So here we are, game 1, and we get to Powder. And 2 Bazaars, Force of Will. We'll keep this. And we're up against Agauagne 87. And it's not a username I recognise. I probably should recognise it at this point, but I can never remember. So, yeah, excited to play this. It's a very similar to what we're playing. It was funny, the week, as I said, they played a list similar to this with bridges. To a top 8 finish recently, the week I got second in the challenge when I first tried Poxwalkers. And their list was, we didn't talk to each other. We do frequently talk to each other about decks, but we didn't talk to each other, and we both landed on Dredge with Bridge from below that week, which was quite entertaining. Okay, opponent plays Urza's Saga to start with. They did reveal a Lurrus. Ooh, strange art, like strange card frame. So there you go, Saga, and do they have more to do? Saga Lotus. Do we want to try and fight over the Lotus? I think that might be fun to do. Just see if it slows them down a bit. Eat a Force of Will, push through a Grief. So that just happens. Now we get to Grief their follow-up. So I think in this spot, play Bazaar, activate Bazaar, and cast Hollow One, and then grief them after that. So we do lose a Noxious, but we've already got another Bazaar hanging out. Ooh, that was close. Yeah, so we'll cast our Hollow One, and now we'll grief them. So upkeep, we're not going to dredge, we're going to dredge on our draw step and then activate our 2 Bazaars, is the current game plan. So they cycle a Lorien revealed, so maybe a Mana Light hand. So Demonic Tutor, Seal of Cleansing, Wasteland. So we'll just take their DT, because their hand's pretty weak. They will Wasteland us this turn. We will then be able to dredge on our draw step anyway, and I assume they're going to get Needle with this. So our Bazaar's going to have to be pretty good, or else Stinkweed Imp Dredge is going to have to be pretty good, because Hollow One's going to get in for 4. We'll get wasted this turn, and then they'll get like main deck Needle and Seal of Cleansing our Hollow One. So we're probably behind. But there's a Narcomoeba and Icarid prized amalgam, so that looks good for us. No second dredger though. So I wonder if we want to hold off. On the Bazaar. But if I think this is getting a needle, then that doesn't make sense, does it? It's better to get more food in the graveyard for the Ichorid. So let's just activate, pitch some stuff. Oh, that's cool. So now when our Seal of Cleansing dies, we'll get a... Yeah, hitting the bridge was really good, actually. Obviously, that's just luck and deck order, but this should hopefully be enough to push through kind of thing. If they do have the main deck needle. Oh, main deck Soul Guide Lantern is a reason to not do that though, right? That's interesting. Yeah. I don't know which one I'm supposed to play around there. Needle or Soul Guide. They could have both. No, the Esper version, which means they'll have Priest post board, which means we're going to be up against it in terms of those 2 Sickening Shoals that we discussed at the beginning. Yeah, but it's an interesting spot, right? Because if I don't do that, then if I don't activate on my turn, then I won't have the Stinkweed Imp and the powerful dredging going, and I could just get needled. Or I can just hold it and they get Soul Guide Lantern, and then they probably have to... Well, they don't have to crack the Soul Guide Lantern because the Ichorid's the only threat in there. So then they get multiple uses off of it. So maybe this actually is better against Soul Guide Lantern and better against main deck Needle, if we're assuming they've only got one of them. If they've got both, then it doesn't really matter. But just if we went for the idea, if they don't have the Needle, they do have the Lantern, and we try to end step the Lantern would come in now, bink the Ichorid, and then it would get everything on the way back through anyway. So this way, yeah, okay, got a Sapphire, fine. So Sapphire into Ancestral, into Seal of Cleansing. Sure, so they didn't go for a hate piece there. They've decided that I've got too much on board and that they need to get into the game in another way. So that's, I think, very good for us, because at the moment we're clocking them for 8, well 7 actually, because the hollow one is not going to connect. If they have another wasteland, because this wasteland that's on the screen at the moment is dead and buried, I can actually pop out my graveyard for you. Luris is over there. So yeah, my Ichorid's got plenty of food. Seal of Cleansing killing hollow one's probably going to be too slow against a Stinkweed Imp. And the Seal of Cleansing also leaves behind a 2/2. So I feel like they needed Soul Guide off of that one. But then I'd still get a Dredge 5 on my upkeep. Or draw step, I think. Okay, opponent plays a Tundra. Okay, opponent made no plays. They had a floating mana and a Seal of Cleansing in hand. And they've gone with nothing. What can they have in... I don't think they can have anything. We're game 1. So, Shambling Shell and Stinkweed Imp, Narcomoeba and Creeping Chill. And the Ichorid's going to come back with a Grief. Going to the bin. We'll try to Stinkweed Imp. We hit another Narc. That's going to trigger another Amalgam. And then we'll go to combat. And we'll upgrade one of these dorky Narcomoebas into a couple of bridge tokens. They've got a plow for my Narc, sure. For my Ichorid, that's fine. So now I'm just going to Therapy, sacrificing the Narcomoeba. I guess I just named Seal of Cleansing here. I don't know what they can ever have, to be honest, to get through this point. What can they have, realistically, to wipe my board out of a Luris list? I don't think there's anything, and if there is anything in the main deck, then this is like a random Wayward Tabernacle. Or Balance would be powerful. Wasteland me, Balance, you lose your whole hand. Maybe Balance is the name. Have I got another... Do they play Balance though? That's a question. I think I'll happily lose to Balance, but for now I'm just going to name Seal of Cleansing. Seal of Cleansing, Treasure Cruise, Bowmasters. Okay, sure. So, nothing really. Interesting that they didn't play the Seal of Cleansing last turn and decided to plough the Icarid. So they could have just played Seal of Cleansing, in my turn killed the Hollow one, and then the following turn you plough the Icarid, right? You then take 1 point less damage. Still, I'm unsure if it's going to matter unless they hit Vault Key. Yeah, opponents conceded, so good news for us. But now they get like priests and stuff, and we've only got 2 ghouls to go with it. I wonder if I want figures. Yeah, they've got the sagas and wastelands and stuff. So I'm going to start off by considering everything, and then we'll take a look from there. I'm happy to trim a chill. I'm happy to trim a thug or 2. Griefs on the draw are questionable, but they are good food for the Icarids. And then maybe just all the discard on the draw is bad. And that means I can probably get off of my bridges. Then I'm on Icarids, Creeping Chills, Prized Amalgams, Hollow ones. That's my kill conditions. I think that's fine. And I have a nice like control-y list. I know the Vigors are only going after Sagas, Cages and Needles, but I think they're worth having. Noxious for Wasteland on our Bazaar, but Noxious also for our Wastelands. And Noxious also works on our only 2 Sickening Shoals as well. The Chalice on the draw is possibly quite questionable, so we might be able to just keep a Thug. Yeah, maybe that's good. So like pretty controlling, but max dredgers. I like it. I like it. So opponent reveals a Lurrus. We reveal a Serum Powder. So my companion is going to draw 7 cards. We have to see how many theirs draws. And this is an interesting spot, right? Am I supposed to? And I'm not going to. But like, this now puts us down to 1 Sickening Shoal. And now we mulligan to 6. And we'll keep this because we've got double Hollow one. And some forces. So that looks good. It's just we have to survive a turn 1 Needle. That's an Urza's Saga. And no other plays right now. Yeah. So Urza's Saga, no other plays, which is interesting. That's tough. I'm going to play Bazaar and activate it. Discard Amalgam, Narc and Shell. Cast a Hollow one. I don't know if I want to fight over Hollow one. No, I'll cast another Hollow one. I think I want to fight over Hate Pieces. So that gets through. This is our graveyard. We've got 1 Dredger. Yeah, the tough bit of drawing the blue card is there's like the joke of like, do we just sit, wait and watch for another turn cycle? But I don't think so. So opponent's got Saga and Tellurian revealed. I'm probably just going to dredge this shell, I believe. Or I could just take a natural draw step if I've got Bazaar of Baghdad. Because natural draw step to find another blue card isn't awful. But I'm down a lot of blue cards already. Okay, opponent gets C. And it becomes their turn. And you've got to assume there's a Wasteland there, or a Tundra and a Priest or something. Because if it's just Yeah, because if there's no hate piece this turn, then their hand's really tough to keep, sort of thing, in my opinion. So they're just on make Saga tokens by the looks of things. I'm just going to take a draw step, I think, because if I hit another blue card, it's great, and if I don't, I've got a Bizarre activation on that shell. So, hit Strip Mine. So let's attack, see if that gets a token out of them. We're probably just going down to 1 force in this turn cycle. And playing it this way as well protects our bridges, which are on our sideboard. As I say that, I sideboarded those out, but it's fine. So they've got an Orcish Bowmasters. I think I'm happy to try and force that. That gets through. Damage, they go to 12. And now we'll strip mine them. We'll kill their Saga. They float a mana. And I guess I should use Bazaar of Baghdad now, because if they untap and play a priest, they could bink an Amalgam. So yeah, I'm going to activate now. So we hit a Narcomoeba. That's going to bring back our Amalgam right now. Or 2 Amalgams right now. So they very much need a Tabernacle at Pendle Vale this turn to kind of have a hope in this one. We still only have the 1 Dredger, but I think we're in a good spot. They've got 4 cards in hand. It's over to them. They don't get their Soul Guide Lantern or Needle off the Saga. But I don't know what has encouraged them to keep this hand. Yeah, nothing. Because like Saga's just too slow. If Saga's your hate piece, you're too slow. Orcish Bowmasters, you know, in that spot it's gain 8 life, right? Or something, because we don't draw cards, we dredge them, so the Bowmaster doesn't trigger. So I'm not sure about that final keep by the opponent, but you know, we got to get there with a hand which was well set up against priests and jailers and stuff, because they don't have the. We had the 8 power on turn 1, so that was a good round 1, and I'll see you for a future round. Okay, round 2, and we're up against Chess Knight, who's been on a Gruul prison thing recently. So a bit of an off-meta deck, some sort of absorb in 3 vibes is what this matchup will be. Magus of the Moon, I think, features, so that could be an issue if they've got an early Magus. But I don't know, we'll see how we do. Got to resolve mulligans first. Okay, it was all a massive lie. Our opponents revealed a Lurrus. We're going to powder our hand away. And we're going to mulligan to 6. And keep going until we find a Bazaar. We've done it. We win. I'm just going to pitch the 2 black cards, I think. Or I could pitch the 2 forces. What do we think of that? I think that looks good. I'm on the plate, right? So I get an activation. I get to dump all 3 of these cards. And then if I untap with a wasteland, without getting wastelanded, we win, I guess. That's how that works. If it's game 2, then maybe I do that differently. But I think for game 1, this works. Yeah, this really works. So we'll carry on with the plan. And we'll do the same as before. We'll cast the Hollow one first. That gets through. Now we'll grief them. This is our graveyard. I mean, that was like 2 of the perfect... Cool. 2 of the perfect opening cards, right? To draw off of that Bazaar activation. It's just grief black card. So we win. They have a Lurrus. So we're going to sideboard pretty much the same as we did before. What did I do? I dropped these. I dropped, on the draw, I dropped a lot of my discard package, right? Perfect. So Wastelands for Sagas, Force of Vigors for Sagas, Wastelands for Tabernacles, extra green card for Vigor. Extra green card for Vigor that also rebuys our shoals and wastelands and bazaars. Yeah, nice. Go to game 2. Okay, so game 2. Our opponent has a Lurrus. We have a Bazaar on 7. No blue card to go with our Force of Will, but we do have a green card to go with our Vigor. So that's nice. Maybe we can find a blue card on this first activation. Or a Sickening Shoal or something, just in case they do something quite good and busted. And then there's an interesting spot here where, let's say they play, they go Saga Needle. Do we take a draw step first? I think we probably do, just to see if we find the blue card to protect the Vigor on their upkeep. Something like that. So, or if they go Wasteland Needle, that's a different question. So, they've got a Mox Emerald. Congratulations. And an Urza's Saga. Okay. We've got to let the Saga trigger resolve, because if they just tap their Emerald and then cast a Needle afterwards, it's really annoying. 2 cards in hand for the opponent. And they have a Cage. Cage is fine. They've only got 1 card left. So what can they have? For green, white... they can't have anything, right? We just... kill Saga, kill Cage, carry on with our day. Yeah. Oh, and we hit the Force of Will as well. Cool. This is pretty messed up. I'm probably just going to take a draw step. Unless they don't play. If they miss a land drop, we'll let it roll. We'll discard the Strip Mine. But if not, we'll just take a draw step. Dredge. Yeah, Sapphire's fine. What do you have? You've got a Lurrus and a Misty. Do we care about Strip Mine against Misty? I don't think so. So yeah, let's just kill them. So Stinkweed Imp. Like if they play a Saga there, I'd take the draw step. I'd dredge my 5. I'd strip them. I'd then activate my Bazaar. Because then we're not going down on cards. But against Misty Rainforest, I just can't see the Strip Mine being particularly relevant unless they top deck. Because we know their hand is exactly Lurrus. We've got Lurrus covered. We've also got the Cage covered if the Lurrus somehow gets through. So they draw Flusterstorm for the turn. Icarid's going to eat a Shambling Shell. We're going to dredge 5 on our upkeep. And we hit a Creeping Chill. All very tasty. And now we will attack them for 3. No bridge, but we did hit triple Icarid, so they probably die next turn. I've not counted. But no bridge because I sideboarded them out again. I am very clever. So we'll fight the Lurrus and then we'll fight the Cage if we have to. So Lurrus gets countered. Our hands have been pretty good here. We've got a Fluster, a Brainstorm. Right, no, we'll just kill everything. No place for you. Put everything into your graveyard, and I will do the same. But exceptionally powerful hands for this match from us. Triple Icarid is going to put them down to 3, so 1 chill will be a kill next turn. Okay. There we go. And I'll see you for round 3. Okay, round 3, we're up against Red Hot Phil, and we've got a banging opener, to be honest with you. 7 cards, Bazaar of Baghdad, Double Force, a Dredger, and a Hollow one. So, let's see where we get to. They've got a Mana Crypt, which I think I'll let go. Because I think they play Duel. So I feel like this, them dumping all their mana is usually fine. Our draw step will get us up and then back down to having Double Force in hand. So Narcomover's fine. Narcomover's actually quite cool because it means we get to discard the Amalgam. So Stinkweed Imp, Prized Amalgam, Yeah, that makes sense, right? Because I can't get onto triple force. Yeah, so I'll discard the amalgam two imps, and then I'll cast a hollow one. Hollow one we won't fight over. We'll let them force it if they want to. And then over to the opponent here. And we look like we're in a fantastic spot. They've got a mana crypt which is going to do some work for us. Bink. And then we've got double force of will. Obviously they can overcome this. It's a high velocity, deck. Lots of massive payoffs. But we might be okay. So let's negation pitching Narcomoeba. That got through nice and easy. They've still got 5 cards in our hand, but their Grim Monolith is tapped. Our Stinkweed Imp is inbound. We hit a Creeping Chill, which is nice and fun. We found ourselves at least 1 Icarid there. I think it was 2 in the end. Yeah, Icarid. So Stinkweed Imp comes back to hand. Hollow one gets in for 4. Opponent is at 10, and they're dead on board now. And this Force of Will, they won the flip, but that doesn't matter. It depends on what they've got here, but they've got nothing, so we're just going to kill them. Nice. No need to activate anymore. We're just going to get in for 10. The opponent shall be deceased. So, eat the Thug. Amalgams trigger a little bit. An opponent's conceded, opponent's seen enough. And we didn't need to show them any more there. So the trap is good. The vigors are good, which means we like the shell. Sickening Shoal I don't think does a lot. Sometimes they have Hull Breacher, but I think we can just get around a Hull Breacher. Strip Mine and Wasteland I don't believe we need. Chalice is still good, even on the draw. So maybe similar to before, where we'll cut our slower interaction and our bridges, which don't do much. I think I'm happy to trim a Thug here. And then Misstep I do keep in because they have needles and cages. So I'm just going to trim one of our griefs. One of our griefs or one of our chills. I think one of our griefs, because chill can go over the top of a Wormcoil engine, which is a big part of their post-board plan. So Sand's not the best in the world. It's not like the others that we've had so far this league, but it is a Bazaar on 7. Hopefully we can go find ourselves a Dredger, or maybe a Force of Will and a Dredger. But this Vigor might do some lifting for us to start with. The concern is if they have a turn 1 One Ring, right? That's a really problematic opening for us, because it means their card advantage is in play, and we'll be dying quite quickly to that sort of thing. So, opponent keeps on 6, and they've got a basic island. A Mox Emerald. Into a Grim. Please pass the turn. Oh, okay, that's cool. Because passing of the turn here means that we get the activation of Bazaar. They don't have the One Ring, and we get to upkeep, just knock out their 2 artifacts. We did find the Dredger on the first attempt, so can we find a Force? No, but we can find an Amalgam. So let's just go Amalgam, Imp, and Narcomoeba. We'll cast ourselves a Hollow one. And we can get blown out by a PO here. But I think it's worth getting blown out by a PO here in exchange for them not having Wormcoil or One Ring mana this turn. So over to the opponent. They didn't have the PO. And now it's on to them to come up with something good, and they don't appear to have it. Nope, they've got nothing. So our Stinkweed Imp now puts them really far behind. Oh, Grave Troll as well. So we had to take a draw step, but the opponent's on 4 cards. We found an Icarid, which will bring back 2 Amalgams. And any Creeping Chills that we hit on the next turn or so are going to be a real problem for the opponent. So Stinkweed Imp, discard everything. Icarid's going to eat a grief. 4 amalgams trigger. That's a lot of amalgams. And we will dredge back our Grave Troll. Hit one of our chills on the way through. Opponent goes down to 6. So it's all or nothing on them now because I've got all the creatures in play. And I don't think what they've got is going to... Yeah, they've just got to kill us, right? Because one Wormcoil Engine's not going to get around that. Yeah, one Wormcoil Engine and they go to -1 off of this board state, so... Exciting stuff. Over to you, Red Hot Phil. And they concede. And that's a match. I'll see you for round 4. Okay, round 4, and we're up against Comov, and they've revealed a kitten. We're going to powder our hand and keep this one. This one's pretty cracked. We've done well, I will admit, on Bazaars so far. Have we gone below 6? I think we might have had a 5. Yeah, hollow on 3 black cards. Bazaar, wasn't it? So they bauble themselves, having kept 7. And they've got a Flooded Strand and nothing else. So they're here for some good honest magic. We are not. Oh no. They've got plays, they're just trying to do the old F6 check. Oh, what does that mean? Under City Sewers, main phase. And they like the top card. Okay, they draw the top card off Bauble. We draw Powder. I think I'm going to activate again first. Yeah, nice. So I'll discard Thug, Icarid, Thug. And then I'll Grief Pitching, Creeping Chill. Probably not fighting over Grief, I don't think. So now that it's been put up, Thassa's Oracle. Maybe I do want to fight over Grief. So what's this? Doomsday Lurus? Lurus Doomsday? Gush Doomsday Dark Ritual. I'll take your Doomsday. So now they've got Underground Sea, Dark Ritual, Gush. But that's nice, so we don't have to worry about Wastelands. Yeah, let me get... Oh, I see. I've got Noxious Revival. We don't have to worry, we probably don't have to worry about Wastelands. I don't know if that's confirmed or not. They can do some Dark Ritualing and some Gushing and stuff this turn. We've got a Noxious which we need to consider saving for their Doomsday stack. So a black and a blue. Looks like they're gushing right now. Tough time to gush unless they've drawn something really good. They wouldn't have drawn couldn't have drawn Doomsday just now. No, just float, get my permanents out of play and pass to you. Nice, I like that a lot actually. So Icarid triggers, so we'll start dredging some Thugs. We'll immediately find a Stinkweed Imp, which makes that better. We find a Narcomoeba as well, and a Golgari Grave Troll, alongside a Shambling Shell. Not Shambling Shell, Cabal Therapy. So we're going to get to really do the thing here. If this Troll hits a bridge, then it's close to over. So we get the Troll back. We get a Creeping Chill and another Narcomoeba. So we're just going to shred their hand here with the 2 therapies and an amalgam as well, so we don't have to sweat too much on the lack of bridges. So yeah, opponent concedes. We're up against Lurus Doomsday. We're still gonna do what we've been doing. I think that makes sense. Do we want... If they're on Doomsday, on Lurus, and I think we can consider Sickening Shoals for Yixid Jailers. I'm going to drop the therapies, I'm going to drop the bridges, and I'm going to drop the griefs on the draw. Chalice I'm going to keep purely because it can make your Doomsday stack a bit more awkward. Does that look good? Sickening Shoals and Chalices. The one consideration here is Wastelands. Do we want a Thug out and a Strip Mine in? And then what would the other cut be? Like maybe just one less chill and a Strip Mine in. Let's run this. It's about, very interactive, very reactive interaction as well, which is nice on the draw. And we're going to mulligan to 6. They've got a Lurus, so that's good. So they haven't audibled into ley lines. We'll mulligan. So, well, we'll keep this. We'll bottom the powder. And we'll pray for no turn 1 needle. Turn 1 needle probably kills us. They did keep 7. So there's turn 1 needles, which are awkward, and there's turn 1 kills, which are awkward, because we've not got an interactive hand. We've just got to get them dead hand. So Underground Sea. Do you have any plays off your Underground Sea? Blue into Ponder. Okay. So far, it's beatable. I wouldn't mind hitting that Chalice that we bought in. So they're passing the turn. So maybe Tab is something that's real. I don't know. Force of Vigor. Let's activate the Bazaar. So I'm going to come off Wasteland here to hold up Vigor. Yeah. And now we'll cast a Hollow One. Opponent thinking about Hollow One. I mean, if this eats a Force, then it's great for us. So that does eat a Force, and that exiles a Preordain. So less cards for the opponent. Hollow One. And no more plays. Cool. So it is great for us, but obviously we're a little bit slower now. Not hitting for 15 next turn, which is a shame. But this figure's just for cages and needles. Because I feel like if they Tabernacle us this turn, then it doesn't really make a difference if I've got Wasteland in hand or not. So Dark Ritual into Cage into DT for Tabernacle at Pendule Vale, I would assume. Yep. I'm going to Vigor your Cage. Actually, should we Vigor? Yeah, we should Vigor this and this and play around the really narrow misdirection. Nice. Cool. So upkeep, our creature dies, but nobody cares. I need to put them on the stack, do I? So let's activate Bazaar, eat a Thug, mill a Chill, draw a Shell. So they've got 2 cards left in hand. Hopefully they are not very good. I'm going to get a bit aggressive and eat my Shambling Shell. I can't pay for Hollow One. I draw step, I dredge a Thug. Hit another Chill, we hit Stinkweed Imp as well, so we've got something to do next turn. And we get him for 3, opponent goes to 10. We are a little bit slow here. A little bit slow. They've got 3 cards in hand. And it looks like they've got something to do with that mana as well. Oh no, they're just going to get the Undercity Sewers and take a look. Ditches a Sapphire. Back to us. We've got 1 Icarid. I'm going to dredge some more. So Stinkweed Imp. Stinkweed Imp. Hit a Creeping Chill. Hitting all these chills has been good. All actions on the opponent. Have they got a trap? Trap would be distressing right here. No, they've got a concession for us. Cool. Let's go to the finals, I guess. See you there. Okay, fifth and final round of today's video. We're up against Sinister, 85, who has not revealed a Lurus just yet. I'm going to keep my hand because it's, once again, quite powerful. We're on the play. And opponent has no Lurus. Okay, cool. Nice. So, let's get our Bazaar in there, get our activation going. Hope for a Grief. We hit a Grief. Nice. Wow. So, Grave Troll, Icarid, Stinkweed Imp. Let's cast Hollow One. That doesn't elicit any sort of response, so we'll Grief them. An opponent concedes the game. Maybe Sunday evening leagues are great and people just don't have any sort of patience for getting dredged. So let's just sideboard how we've been sideboarding. I think I'm going to bring in some shoals as a hedge. I'm going to bring in the Vigors and the green cards. I think that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to drop the therapies. And that's 63, so we need some more cuts from here. 2 griefs, 3 griefs. Yeah, so let's just do 3 griefs, or 4 griefs, sorry, and just bring in some more reactive cards. So, I think that looks good. There's no Lurus, so they can definitely have ley lines. So that makes sense for all of these. They could be something nonsensy like mono white. We could try and make space for these strips, but I don't feel like it right now. Or maybe I can bring in the strip for the chalice. Something like this. Yeah, let's try that out. Let's jam the submit button. So now we're hedged against everything. Maybe not like exactly perfect, but our draws have just been quite nutty. So let's see if this holds until our turn. We'll keep this. Leyline of the Void. Okay, but we've kind of got that covered, right, with double Hollow One. Bayou. The fuck's a Bayou? It's just Bug. No, we've got a Force of Will as well. Alright, so we'll double Hollow One them. I'm going to discard Bazaar of Baghdad, Serum Powder, and Icarid. Okay, the reason we're doing this is because of Tarmogoyf. So we want the Force of Will to beat the Force of Vigor. And Sickening Shoal should mean that our 2 Hollow Ones beat a Tarmogoyf. Opponent has a Wasteland. We're not here for Wastelands. They've got a Leyline in play. They've still got no plays. We need to fade Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale, so we need to fight Tutors and fight Vigors. Okay, that's kind of the game plan here. In for 8. Opponent goes to 12. Icarid wasn't a great draw. I'd much rather seen a green card or a Vigor there. We're dead. Let's take a draw step, and then if it's not a Vigor, we'll concede, I think. It's not a Vigor. Right, let's go to the next game, because this is going to be 18 months of us slowly dying. Bug. Well, I want the Griefs then. And I want the other Wasteland. I don't know if I want Therapies and Bridges, though. I don't need Mindbreak Trap. I don't need Negation so much. Misstep beats up on Deathrite Shaman. Sickening Shoals are questionable. I'm going to trim a Thug and a Chill, though, I think. Let's submit this. And we will go to Powder. Nice. It's not a Bazaar of Baghdad, unfortunately. That's a Strip Mine. So we'll go down to 6. And then we'll go to 5. And the wheels shall fall off right at the end here. But opponent begins the game with 7 cards in hand. You hate to see it. So mulligan to 4. We've got a Bazaar. We'll get rid of the Narcomoebas. and its opponent going to put a ley line in play. So, 2 ley lines, sure. Let's play Bazaar and go find some green cards. There's a green card. We'll hold the misstep. Try and beat a like Deathrite Shaman or something. I'm going to counter that. I don't see why we need to let it resolve. They've got a Flusterstorm. Cool, that's fine. So we just need Vigor off the top. It's good that this has baited out that Fluster, because we can't beat the Fluster, right? If we top deck a Vigor. So how many Vigors did we exile? 0 Vigors got exiled. That's another Bazaar. So we'll pass the turn. I'm not confident about our chances in this one. Icarid. So let's activate and miss. That's fine. We'll pass. And opponent eats a Flusterstorm to hit us for 2. Opponent has a Lotus. And Lotus looks to be hard casting something big. Is it just a Lorien? Yeah, Lotus cast Lorien. Strip mine my Bazaar of Baghdad, that's fine. I've got another one. Deathrite Shaman doesn't attack. There's a Force of Vigor. Okay, so let's play our Bazaar. And then in their upkeep we will Vigor their 2 ley lines and say a prayer. They've only got 4 mana here, so they can't hardcast a Force of Will. Let's go like this, and if they don't have it, cool. That's good for us. If they've got a Wasteland here, we need double Dredger to pop off the top here. So they ponder. How many cards have we been through? Only 16. 4 Dredgers have gone. I think I trimmed a Thug. So it might be tough to hit a Dredger straight away. Leovold, Emissary of Trest, so I need a Dredger straight away, and I hit one. So that's great. Deathrite Shaman attacks for 1. But we are, in this game, we can activate the Bazaar. Shell hits Stinkweed Imp. Hits Creeping Chill. Nice. So yeah, we'll bink them with the Chill. We'll dredge a Stinkweed Imp, and we hit a lot of stuff there. So they need to find Wasteland, and they need to kill us quickly. That's an Underground Sea. Well, that's not a Wasteland. I think we might be ahead. I'm not sure. Like, Needle hurts us, Cage kills us. Hardcast Leyline is a problem. Especially with 4 Vigors and, 3 Vigors and 3 Noxious in the graveyard. It's a massive problem, right? Hardcast Leyline probably just knocks us out as well. But we fought back to a position where we could win. At the very least. So opponent's currently floating a green. And they exiled my Icarid. Okay. And now they have an Oko, which makes a food token. Cool. So we need to hit some Narcomoebas to get this Amalgam into play. And there could be a point where I've just gone a bit too shallow on kill conditions without the bridge. And we hit nothing there. We hit another Icarid, so that's Stinkweed Imp, and that just passes the turn. So we hit nothing. We hit 1 Icarid, I think. Are all my Amalgams exiled? 1 Amalgam there. Not great for the home team. We might just die a bit too quickly. Yeah, just one amalgam. Two. Oh no, there's two amalgams there, but we just didn't hit a narc. That was it. That was the issue. We only hit one Icarid, so they're going to be able to eat the Icarid if they want to. They play another Oko, so they're just trying to get us dead as quickly as possible, which makes sense. Chills, we've only got one chill left, I think. We take 9. We've only got 13 cards as well. And then Deathrite Shaman's going to eat. Yeah, I just don't think I've got the power to overcome their board at this point. Deathrite Shaman, I assume, eats this Icarid, yeah. So Icarid dies. We've got 13 cards. I still think I want a Stinkweed Imp. Still don't have an Narcomoeba, so I'm going to go for... What, Shell? Does that make sense? Pick me down to 2 cards. Let's do a Shell. So that hits one Narcomoeba and a Creeping Chill. Yep. How many amalgams is that? Not very many amalgams. I'm just going to do another Shell. That hits another Narcomoeba, another Icarid. I missed on an amalgam. 2 amalgams in exile? No. So there's just 1 amalgam in my last 2, which is a huge issue for us. Yeah, I definitely can't win this. Because Icarid's going to get eaten. Deathrite Shaman's got all the food in the world. I need to chump block with my Narcomoebas. Yeah. Yeah, we're just going to run out of cards in the final round here. Which is a shame, because we were live for the trophy coming into this one. So what do I need to block? I just need to block 2 of those. Because the Deathrite can kill us if I don't block all of them. And now I have an Icarid trigger, which I assume they're just going to respond to. Yeah, so they eat the Icarid. And that ley line at the beginning just bought them just enough time. Yeah, no, we're dead, right? I attack you for 6. Yeah, I can't see anything here. Last card being an amalgam is a bit frustrating, I think. 1, 2, 3, yeah. Never mind. So 4 and 1 on the day with Jacob's Dredge list, which is pretty good. I like the way it's built. Maybe I missideboarded for this match without the bridges in the deck, but my thing with the bridges was that they also play lots of creatures, right? So the bridges, you bring back a Icarid, it just trades off with a food token or what have you. But never mind, I think the deck's really good. I think it's well made. I really like the sideboard Shambling Shell, so you've got the better Game 1 deck, and you can have access to max dredges and trim around with thugs and shells. I think that's really smart. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you again in the near future. Peace out.